start with, let's see. So Nike, for example, right? This is a perfect example. How we got Nike was, remember when so I said something because you missed it, and I was saying that there's a quote that says, how you do anything is how you do everything, right? Meaning like, you think the small things don't matter, but they do in the big picture because those small things lead to another small thing and it trails back, right? And so how we got Nike is we have, let me even draw back to how we got that relationship. Okay, so in 2011, 2012, we were doing like a whole bunch of like work in the community and we were doing like these custom like wooden chains and stuff like that, and just doing a ton of stuff around enrichment and things of that nature. And so I was at one of my boys has a company called Marketing Kings, and I was there to kind of just say what's up to him. He was like, looked at him as like the big homie, he was just like a mentor. And I met DC from the radio station, so DC from 106 KMEL. And he had heard what we were doing. He like knew my business partner, but that was the first time we actually like met. And he was just like, yo, I want to get you hooked up with the radio station and you know, open that relationship so you can start printing their shirts. And I was like, cool, let's do it. And so he introduced me to the marketing director. And so we ended up building a relationship. We did like trade. So we didn't charge them for shirts, but they would give us access. And so we had access to all the meet and greets for all the celebrities and artists. That's how we met Trey Songz. That's how we got Rick Ross to wear the stuff, 50 Cent, like all that stuff, because they would give us access to these small meet and greets, and we would go and meet them and then give them the packages and stuff. And so we started building a relationship. We would do a trade. So until 2000, was it 15, 16, 15? So 2015, so from 2011 to 2015, we were just building a relationship, and I was always asking him like, hey, can you like refer us to somebody? I know you know people in the industry and this, and this. And he was like, oh yeah, you know, when something comes up, I'll let you know. And so we just made sure that we provided a ton of value. Like whatever it was, we made sure we delivered. We made sure we delivered on time. We made sure there was one time when the shirt colors got printed wrong, and we reprinted it the day before the event and dropped it off. And he was just like, he respected us so much of what we were doing. We built a name for ourselves, and he knew he could trust us. And so he knew for sure, like, I could rely on these guys. And so we just made sure that every single thing, those little things, right? What you think, those little tiny things, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. And so we built up trust with him. And so he, you know, believed in us. And so we had just shot an intro to our web series. And we were sitting at this place called Jack's. Was it Jack's in San Mateo? At Jack's, getting a burger, and it was good too. And so it was a good day. And so we were eating, and he called me. And he was like, this was right before when the Warriors first went to the playoffs. And so he called me, he was like, yo, I needed some shirt. We were talking about our other project that he put in an order for. And I was like, all right, cool. And then we're getting ready to hang up. He was like, oh yeah, by the way, my brother works for an agency in LA, and he wants to get some shirts done for the Warriors. Mind you, this was on a Thursday that he called me, and he was like, yeah, I think they need it by Sunday. And I was like, all right, yeah, tell him to hit me up. So his brother hits me up and was like, yo, I work for this agency, and our client is Nike. And he was like, I'm gonna send you an order. I'm gonna connect you with our project manager. And so talked to the project manager. She was like, I'm so thankful for this. This is like, 10 o'clock at night on Thursday, and we're trying to work out details. They're like, we're gonna overnight it to you. You guys will get it tomorrow. And we need it by like Sunday. And so I was like, all right, cool, whatever. And so Friday morning turned into Friday at 1 a.m. And so we were at the shop waiting until 1 a.m. We got the shirts, we printed the shirts, and we had it to them the next day. And they were super impressed. Now, mind you, this was the agency that their client was Nike. So we drop off the stuff, and then I always like to build relationships. I go above and beyond the way. Usually companies would be like, oh, that's it, and go over. I was like, hey, where y'all going? I'm gonna pop up. Like, y'all need help? We'll pass out shirts. Like, I'll come out there and fold posters, do whatever you need to do. And so she was like, okay, yeah, we have a truck that's coming out. I'll send you the location. So we went to the location. It was at Lake Merritt. We met the whole team, and we're talking, and then it was this random guy we were talking to, and she comes up to me. She was like, that's the client. That's the Nike client. I was like, oh, really? I was like, I didn't know. We were just building a relationship and talking to him. And he was impressed. He was like, yo, thank you so much for getting this done. He was like, we don't have a vendor out here that we print with. And he was like, we would love to get you set up as a preferred vendor. And he was like, here, let me give you my card. And so I'm like, I'm excited. But this is the thing. This is what happened, right? The project's done. Sent them an email, no response. Sent them another email, no response. I emailed this guy for a year straight. I'm serious, no response. No, I got your email, I got nothing. Nothing, right? Even the agency that was going through the stuff was like getting irritated, like, oh, you should hit you back. I was like, look, it's in time. When it's supposed to happen, it'll happen. Don't worry about it. Like, I'm not tripping. I'm patient. Like, you got to be patient and you got to understand, like, it's fine. So I would just send him emails every now and then, every month, like, yo, what's up? How you doing? No response. Hey, just checking in. How's everything going? No response. Yo, I'm going to be in LA. Would love to do coffee. No response. Literally, I probably sent him like 12 emails. Probably more, maybe more. I don't know. So I'm like patient. I'm like, I don't care, whatever. It is what it is. So then I get a call one day, and it was Friday. It was at like 6 o'clock. And it was the brand director of Nike. Like, this dude tells Durant where to go, LeBron where to go, like everybody. He's like, yo, Dev, leave it up to Nike to call you at 6 o'clock on a Friday. He was like, we're doing a project. I don't know if you guys seen the Equality. They did like a quality thing, and they needed to get some shirts printed. And so it was when Cleveland were playing the Warriors, and he was like, look, I got to get this on the players. And there was a storm in Portland, and we didn't get our shipment. Can you print them for us? I'm going to be in on Saturday, but we need them for Sunday. I was like, done. And he was like, all right, cool. And so he came, we did like 40 shirts, and we turned it around like that. And he was like, damn. And then after that, still kind of, he responded, but it was still like a very like subtle kind of response. So I just said, I don't care, that's fine. I'm gonna just provide as much value as I can, and when it's time, we'll get it. If it's ours, we'll have it. And I just came with that attitude. And so he emailed me back, and I emailed him again of like, hey, I'm gonna be in LA, blah, 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 no response. And then another time, they needed something for the Warriors, and then he hit me up again, came through. Same exact thing, they gave us like 2 days, we got it done. And so it got to a point where we just started bailing them out of all this stuff all the time. And it got to a point where they're like, all right, cool, well, we're gonna have to get you set up in the system. So, and then they answered the phone. They started emailing me back. They got it set up in the system. And it's hard to get set up as a preferred vendor with Nike. Like, it's hard. Like, you have to know somebody to get you set up. And now we're coming in from the brand director side. And so now we got set up. And now they trust us. So now they hit us up last time. They gave us 7,000 shirts, and we flipped it around in a day. So they know we can get it done. Like, you're going to call us with an insane thing, but you're going to pay for it. Like, but we get it done. And so we just proved ourselves over time and time again. So now they're sending us emails with like Nike headquarters. Like, hey, look, this is the agency that we use in the Bay. So whatever you need to do, use them. And now he's emailing me back, hitting me up. Like, now we have a relationship where I can text him right now and he'll text me right back. But it was patience. It was patient. You got to have patience. You got to look at long-term stuff. You got to look at long-term building, right? So we're doing some stuff with the Warriors right now. We were supposed to do some of those in-arena the shirts, like all the shirts, right? And so she hit me up and she was like, yo, we might need your help because I guess their vendor or something fell through. And I was like, yeah, cool, no worries, no pressure at all. Whatever you need, we got you. Didn't hear back from her. So I was like, all right, that's cool, it doesn't matter. We went to a restaurant and then I sent her a picture of the menu. I was like, yo, I'm at our spot. And then she was like, oh, that's cool. She was like, sorry I didn't shoot back. She was like, we got everything taken care of. So now normally people would be like, all right, cool. I don't need to pay her any attention. She doesn't have any work for me, so I'm gonna go on to the next one. Nah, see, I didn't do that. So what I did is I said, all right, cool. I know things are busy right now, but let's do lunch after the playoffs. You see what I'm saying? So it's not like, hey, can you give me some tickets to the playoffs? We're not asking for anything. We're saying like, let's hook up after the craziness and all that stuff, and let's start building a relationship. The relationship builds then. It's not when you need something. You got to understand of like being able to build and add value when nobody else is there. During this time, during playoffs, and everybody's trying to be around and do all that stuff, give it a month after playoffs. Or if they lose, ain't nobody gonna be around. That's when you go around. That's when you establish a relationship. That's how you build that. And that's how we've fundamentally built relationships with a lot of these companies. A lot of the artists and celebrities, we didn't go directly to the celebrity. We went to the manager. We went to the bodyguards because we knew they were the ones that would answer the phones. We knew the bodyguard is the one that would let you next to the artist. They knew they had the access. So we treated them like they were the celebrity and didn't even pay attention to the celebrity. And then the byproduct of what happened is the security guards wearing the stuff in front of the celebrity. And now when they on TMZ, the bodyguard right there, a big old billboard. And then the artists get to see it, and then the bodyguard's like, yeah, you need to check these dudes out. So now he's gonna listen versus some random person saying, hey, we're good, we could do this. So always try to go where nobody else is going and build those relationships and think long term. That has been the fundamental way of why we're here, how we got Tesla, how we got Nike, how we got the A's, how we got all of this stuff. It's building relationships when everybody else is ghost. Everybody else is gone, we're there. And we stay consistent. I got a call, and this meant a lot to me because I got a call on Easter, I think it was last year, from Trey Songz's road manager. And he was like, bro, I really gotta say, like, I appreciate you. He said, usually when I get people's products in Trey's hands, I never hear from him again. He said, literally, you were the only one that stayed consistent and hooked me and my wife up after all that stuff happened. Like, we don't even care about Trey. It's like, all right, let's hook them up. They're the people. You know, and it's just a change in philosophy and an approach. But it's gotten us here. And that's how we've gotten some of the biggest companies and the biggest celebrities to wear our stuff and to work with them. So I'm telling you, that little philosophy change of like focusing on that, people don't do that. People are too short-term thinking and too like asking for things. Once you start asking for stuff, you lose leverage. The more you ask, the more and more leverage you lose. So I hate asking for things like tickets and all. Like I don't really like doing that because I know that now you're becoming a taker, not a giver. You always have to become a giver, like always, no matter what position, no matter what you're in, always provide value. I don't care if we're going somewhere and we have to like fold tables or fold chairs, like always do it. Like always do it. Don't lose sight of like that work and that work ethic of like, this is what we have to do. And when you see something has to get done, like help getting it done. That's the whole point of being like a leader and things of that nature. Like you take action when it happens. And so I know that's a long-winded story, but that's fundamental. Like if you could take those philosophies and apply it, I guarantee you'll see the results from it.